Welcome to the equities review. We're going to be fast and furious, looking at it on a monthly, daily, monthly, quickly, monthly view is the view we want to see. So you can see here our MACDs are still positive. This has been a good pullback, take liquidity of this candle. In the month of May, I'd expect us to go higher, higher. If we bring it back to the daily just to see what's going on here, you can see here we've got a big fat selling candle. We've gone below it. I'd expect us to go back the other way in May. So that's the dollar. Let's move on to gold and see what we can see on gold. Gold on the monthly chart. Again, it's that old story. It needs to continue coming down based on what we see here. So on this layout, this is more likely to come back down into May. Before anything happens, it will come back down in May. I'd expect a red candle as well in May. And then let's look at it on the other layout and see what we can see on there, whether it confirms that for us as well. Again, it's very similar story. Red candles, triple red, you'll go lower than 4510 in the month of May. So that's a given. I expect that we'll recover all these candles here. All these big candles here will be recovered. So you're talking 3.8, 3.8 will be the minimum I'd expect us to come to. Would be, I'd say probably 3.8, yeah, 3.8. 3.8 will be the minimum I'd expect us to come to in the month of May. So that's gold, more downside on gold. Let's look at silver. Silver and gold, very similar story. I'd expect us to come lower. This candle here is the candle of interest for me, and the low is 56. So I'd expect at least 56 in the month of May. Let's move on to the next one, which is copper. So copper is looking good on the monthly chart. Had a very positive close here. Above this pink candle here. I still expect this candle to be exceeded to the downside, but you could get a liquidity sweep. You could get a liquidity sweep first before that happens. This one looks more promising. So I think I'd expect a liquidity sweep. If I bring it into the weekly, you can see we've got the first short liquidity exit. I think there will be another one to the upside before. So I'd expect a slight move to the upside and then collapse back down to the lower side. So it's possible that, we come below what 5.18 in the month of May, but I would expect this also to go up first, higher first before. So that's copper. Let's move on to palladium. So palladium with this big selling candle, I would expect this to go up and take liquidity of this candle, a little bit more liquidity of this candle. So liquidity swipe, on palladium would be what we'd say into the month of May before anything happens. Let's move on to platinum. So platinum is also very similar. Again, I'd expect more of a liquidity grab to the upside on this, grab a little bit more liquidity on this candle, this big selling candle before we collapse. If I go into the weekly, you can see we're grinding to the other side. There's a good candle close yesterday. We'll take some of the liquidity back. So that I think that confirms my liquidity exit or liquidity grab on this candle would be what we say for platinum in the month of May. And then if we go on to oil, so oil, we expect oil to go higher. We expect oil to go higher in the month of May. And I think it probably will find its top in the month of May as well. So 135, 140, maybe you could even shoot up to 150. It's possible. So between 135 and 150, somewhere there, you can expect oil to kind of peak and then cascade itself back to the downside. Let's then have a quick look at Google, because we're tracking Google for some opportunities to buy. And again, you can see here we had our MSW3, which means you're going to have a liquidity sweep. We've had that liquidity sweep, and it's been a very big liquidity sweep. I think that in the month of May, I would expect us to take some of that liquidity off the back of this candle The minimum I would expect this to be will be around here, which will be 338. So let's put our let there. 338 is the minimum I'd expect this to come to in the month of May in terms of a pullback. You could go back, it could go up slightly, but I'd expect this to take a lot of liquidity off this candle. You can see the divergence here and there. And again, the MSW3 always creates an opportunity for liquidity grab. So that is Google. If you go for NAS 100 on the monthly chart, it's a very similar story as well. You can see you had your MS3 and we've taken our liquidity off it as well. We've already gone slightly higher today, first day of the month. I'd expect a lot of liquidity to be sucked around this candle here. I think the minimum I'd expect in May would be somewhere around 25900 would be the minimum I'd expect us to get to in the month of May in the pullback. So that is okay. Let's look at the SPX as well whilst we're here. So another similar story really. We had MS3, MSW3, and we've taken liquidity and they've grabbed more of it because of this big selling candle. Whenever you get these fat selling candles, always expect price to go back the other way. Always expect price to go back the other way. If it's a big fat selling candle, take liquidity off the back of it. So that's what has happened. I think we probably, we've gone up slightly higher. I'd expect a minimum pullback of about somewhere here, 6.9 on the S&P would be what we say for the month of May. Now, that is all I've got in terms of the equities. I wish you all the best and God bless, and we'll catch up in June.